Hey Pretty Girl Club. So today I'm going to talk about how I was able to reach 10,000 subscribers on YouTube. So hopefully this video is applicable for you if you're thinking of starting a channel, or maybe you just want to go after your dreams in 2024 and you're looking for some exotical inspiration. So I've had this channel for about 3 years, but I totally effed off on this channel for the first 2 years. So that is one of my biggest things that if I could go back and change it, I would change it. I was extremely inconsistent for the first 2 years. In fact, I just became consistent on this channel this past fall. So this past September is when I started getting consistent on this YouTube channel. And from September through January, I was able to pretty much double my subscribers and hit 10K. I'm super excited to see what 2024 brings, but that's the first tip that I have is being consistent. I think part of the reason why I wasn't consistent on this channel was because I didn't know that there would be so many people who could relate to the content. I didn't think that anybody cared about these topics. I thought that there was a potential that I was just delusional, or, maybe I'm just some sort of narcissist or something. Maybe something's wrong with me and maybe nobody can relate to this. So that's a part of why I was not as consistent at first. Also, another mistake that I made when I first started my YouTube was kind of looking at other content creators or kind of hoping that other content creators would want to collab with me and go down the same direction as far as what I was looking for this channel to become. So I really wanted to start a new niche on YouTube, and I guess technically I did, I don't know, or kind of create my own lane, I guess, I don't know. But I remember when I first started my channel and I was smaller, I thought that I would need collabs in order to grow and to become a bigger content creator. And I'm not saying that you can't grow from collabs, but one thing that I learned is that I work better when I have complete creative control over my own content and when I am not allowing other people's opinions to infiltrate my space or to infiltrate my talking points. So now I have learned to really guard this platform because this is a safe space for the Pretty Girl Club. This is a safe space for mixed women or women who look mixed. This is a space for women to talk about our issues, and we don't have to worry about people saying, you're delusional, oh, you think you're better than others, you have a superiority complex, you're making your skin tone your entire personality, you're making being mixed your entire personality. This is a space where we don't have to worry about that. So I've really learned to be very generous with the block button. I have blocked hundreds of people on this YouTube channel who have tried to come in and derail the conversation, or they try to infiltrate, or they try to gradually influence my talking points, and I can totally see what they're doing. It's very obvious that that's what they're doing. So I've learned to not be afraid to block people, because sometimes I feel like content creators, they'll be like, oh, I don't want to block everyone. Oh, I don't want to remove them from the channel because if I don't have a lot of comments or if I don't have XYZ, I'm not going to go up in the algorithm. Well, guess what? I'm not here just for the algorithm. I am here so that I can have freedom of speech to talk about what I want to talk about and to share this space with women who can relate to me. So if people can't relate to me, or if they would rather watch another channel, I just remove them and I let them go about their way. I'm not scared of not having as many followers or not having as many viewers, because I would rather have more viewers. I'd rather have less viewers who are actual fans of what we're talking about and people who love Exoticals and, they're not racist against mixed race people. I'd rather have people like that and have less of us than have a whole bunch of people and my comment section is filled with people arguing back and forth. It's very toxic. People are bashing each other and stuff. That's not what I want this channel to become. I didn't want my comment section to become this ratchet arguing back and forth type of thing. So I think that's another thing that helped me to get to 10K, was not being afraid to block and remove people, especially on the decentering men content. I do have some guys that try to come on there sometimes and they try to argue and refute my talking points. And it's if you want to refute my talking points, you can refute them from your platform. Go build your own platform. Go build your own following. Go use your own talents and gifts. Since you're so smart, go use your intelligence, your talents, and your gifts to build a platform and build a group of people who rallies around you. My platform is not a space for people to come and start bashing the content. Like, that doesn't even make sense. That would be like if I'm on a stage performing and somebody takes the microphone from me and then stands up on the stage and then they start doing their own thing and they start talking about what they believe in, which goes directly against what I'm saying. So one of the biggest things that helped me to get to 10K was being very generous with the block button, not being afraid to cut off content creators who maybe they wanted to collab with me at one point, but then they no longer do. Guess what? I can be successful by myself. I can be successful with or without other people co-signing me. I don't have to ride anyone's coattails in order to get to success. So that is something that can help you guys if you're thinking of starting a channel. And by the way, you don't have to show yourself on YouTube. You can do a faceless channel. You can do like a voiceless channel. You can use AI to do the editing for you. And it's actually not as hard as people make it out to be. Another thing that I learned over the course of my YouTube journey is I learned the power of expanding my content. So the reason that I put the Decentering Men series on here is because I really do feel like a lot of the colorism, texturism, featureism, pretty privilege hate comes from centering the male gaze. It comes from being male-centered. I've noticed that once I decentered men, about 90% of my insecurities about my physical appearance went away. I've noticed that women who are not male-centered, they tend to not be jealous because they don't have anything to be jealous of. They don't feel that FOMO. They don't feel like they're missing out on a man. They don't feel like they're missing out on anything. So they have no reason to be jealous of women who maybe they are getting the male gaze, or, maybe they do have the pretty privilege and stuff. Another thing that I added to this channel was the social climbing series, and I added that because I feel like that's another cure for jealousy. Instead of being mad that somebody else kind of is ahead of you in life or in social status, you can still use different strategies to attain social status for yourself, but you have to decide what you're willing to do and what sacrifices you're willing to make. How much shit are you willing to allow people to talk about you? What are you willing to deal with in order to attain that status? Because different people have to do different things in order to achieve the same goal. So for one girl, for her to be pretty, maybe she just has to put on some concealer and drink some water and she looks great. But for you, maybe you have to go to the gym because your diet isn't as good. Maybe you have to balance your hormones and do all of these other things to attain the same goal. And that's okay. It doesn't make that other person better than you. I've noticed that a lot of people have this lack mindset. They feel like, oh, if it was easier for this other person to get to the destination, then that means that they are better than me or they are higher than me and I'm somehow lower than them. It's like, no, Blue Ivy obviously has more status than me in the music industry. So if I were to ever go into the music industry, obviously it's going to be harder for me than Blue Ivy because I don't have the same privileges as her. That doesn't make me less valid. That doesn't make me less talented. By the way, I have no interest in going into the music industry. That's just an example. But it's like, just because you came in and had to overcome more obstacles to achieve the same goal, it does not mean that the goal wasn't worth it. It doesn't mean that like somehow you failed because you still got to the destination, right? So why the complaints? Oh, it took longer for me to get here. Oh, it took longer for me to be picked by a guy. It took longer for me to get likes on a dating app. It's like, okay, what is your real goal then? That means your actual goal was not to get the likes. Your goal was to feel like you have a higher status than the other girl. So I've noticed that being honest with yourself, that'll really help you to get closer to your goals. But that's another thing that helped this channel to grow. Not just being honest with myself, but also teaching you guys the things that I've learned and all of the strategies that I've used to succeed. So not trying to gatekeep everything, not trying to keep everything a secret. I mean, some things are going to be a secret though. For some things you have to join the Patreon. If you want Discord access and stuff like that, definitely join the Patreon. But that is something that helped me to grow to 10K, was realizing that not everyone has the same journey, and that's okay. Another thing that helped me to get to 10,000 subscribers was to celebrate every milestone on the way there. So to not overthink the numbers, not overthinking the analytics, like, oh, why did this one video do really well and then this other video didn't do well? The video that I just uploaded right before this one literally got demonetized from the moment I uploaded it. I was like, why is it not even making ad revenue? I don't know. I will never figure that out. But it's okay because I can always make another video. By the way, be sure to follow my backup channel, Exoticals Unfiltered. I do post on there. That's my backup channel in case anything bad ever happens to this one. I will link that in the description. But those are just a few of the tips on how I was able to gain 10,000 subscribers. Another tip is I just kept showing up. So even if I feel like my videos are trash, even if I felt like, oh, that video was too short, or the editing wasn't that great, or my talking points weren't as strong, that's okay, because my goal is not to be perfect. So I'm not going to be perfect on this channel. I'm not going to be perfect on YouTube. I'm not going to say all of the right things 24/7, and that's okay. I'd rather be authentic than be perfect and then I never upload because I have analysis paralysis. That used to happen to me at the beginning of my channel. I would be like, oh, I don't really know what to talk about, or I don't have enough information. I don't know all of the details of this celebrity story or whatever, so I can't use it as an example. I was quicker to come up with excuses as far as why I couldn't upload. And now I just keep on throwing stuff at the wall to see what sticks. And I just keep on showing up so that when all those other content creators don't show up, guess what? I'm still here. You can count on me. Anyway, those are some of the ways that I grew to 10,000 subscribers. What do you ladies think? Let me know in the comment section and I'll talk to you next time. Stay pretty, ladies.